We begin with a light color of eyeshadow all over the eyes. Close for me, Mary. Now you'll notice it's just as close to her skin as we can have. It's just going to add a little bit of extra polish, a little bit of extra glam, if you will. And we're going to get our emphasis shadow in just a second, and also our liner. We're just going to really emphasize. And of course we finish with the pièce de résistance, the mascara. The bigger the brush, the less you are to make a mistake, because you can use the brush back and forth to blend your product, which again helps it be not really noticeable. The best thing someone can say is, Mary, you look beautiful, not I love your eyeshadow. So we're going to make sure that she looks beautiful, and that's the first thing you see. Okay. Now after we've gotten the base shadow on, we're going to stop for a moment and line the eyes. Just for a second, if you'll look up for me, you'll see what I'm doing is what's called a feathering technique. I'm just going back and forth as close as under her eyelashes on the bottom as I possibly can. Close for me all together. And then I'm going to do the same thing. By doing the feathering stroke rather than drawing the straight line across, it's going to give more of an emphasis of a shadow or in a look that you want, and not a drawn on line. Again, we want them to say, Mary, you look beautiful. And look up for me, not I love your eyeshadow. So just a little bit. The wonderful thing about watching these types of training videos is that you are able to see how you look in the middle, because the end results are often different than you look as you're applying it. So being able to see that it goes on just about that thick, she's not going to end that way. At home, she would be able to take her applicator like this and just be able to smudge it out. And we're not taking off much, we're just, again, stopping that start-stop line. Look up. Thank you. And again on the other side. And look up for me. And look up again, just for a second. If you've taken a look at the makeup application part where we set everything with powder, we're going to set the eyeliner with powder as well. All we're going to do is simply take the same eyeshadow that we put on our eyes before, and just where we put the liner, look up for me, we're just going to set it with powder. Close for me. Again, this is one of those little tricks that's going to keep her eyeshadow on and her eyeliner on all day. Powder is a wonderful setting tool. Close for me. And that's all you do. Plus, again, it helps kind of soft focus it. We've got one more application for the eyes. Mary, if you look at the camera, I want you to close for me. You'll see that this natural bone here, we're going to follow it. I'm going to show you without shadow on, so you'll see the technique. I'm going to take 1/3, and then I'm going to follow the natural contour of a bone. And using a big brush allows you to get the application correct without making it look too shadowy. Now, this is called a C technique. We're going to start with 1/3 of her eye on the bottom, and I'm going to follow with this contour shadow the natural contour of her bone. And again, I like people to see how it looks in the middle, because it's not going to look that way at the end. Makeup is something you should never be scared of, that's for sure. Don't let it frighten you. And once you become comfortable with it, once you know how to put on your makeup, it's like a wonderful gift, because it's something you'll always be able to use. Now, fashions change, but the shape of your eyes, the shape of your face, the shape of your lips never do. So I encourage you not to go trendy, but to go what works for you, best for your particular coloring, your particular shape, and your lifestyle. Okay, our last little part is I'm going to start blending it just with a sponge. As we showed on the makeup part, a sponge is invaluable. We're going to use that same sponge that we used for the other video, and I'm just going to take any of the start-stop harsh lines off using the clean edge of the sponge. You don't want to use the sponge part that has the makeup on, because it's going to be too moisturizing for the skin, and our whole thing is about setting everything, the eyeshadow. So there. About 99% of the time I recommend black mascara. Even for me as a blonde, I use black. The only time I ever use brown is for natural redheads or strawberry blondes, but black gives enough emphasis and to show the eyes off. Look up for me, Mary. We're going to start at the bottom. Just a little bit on the bottoms to frame the eyes, not much. Now here's how we're going to get the coat of 1 to last for 2. Look straight ahead, and what I'm doing is what I call small little zigzags. What I'm doing is separating each lash with my brush. So that's going to color in between and make our lashes look long and luxurious. So that's step 2. Step 3 is I take my mascara wand, open just a little, and I'm going to lay it on top and roll it out. What I'm doing is capturing the top of her eyelashes. So again, it's going to make them thicker, longer, and much more luxurious. And then I just zigzag them back up. So look at that eye compared to the rest. Isn't that wonderful? Easy, easy. Okay, now we're going to do this one underneath, just a little to frame. Mary's been blessed with very nice brows and very nice lashes. We're all envious of her. And I'm going to do small little zigzags. And again, it's going to help keep from clumping as well. Okay, roll on top, roll it out. Can you feel that, Mary?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what I'm doing is just rolling it out, and then I'm going to, look right here, I'm going to fluff them back up. Just little small zigzags. And then all we have to do to complete Mary's eyes is do her brows. Wonderful. The last part for the eye section is going to be her brows. Now, Mary again has been blessed with nice, thick, wonderfully dark brows, but I'm going to show you, even if you just have a fragment of brow, how you can make them look as nice and thick as Mary's. Taking your brow pencil, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put my finger here and rest it on her cheek, and I'm actually going to go in, close for me, darling. I'm actually going to go in and color the skin underneath the brow. That's the secret. So even if your eyes are thin or your eyebrows are thin like mine, you can create the illusion of little bitty hairs instead of just painting them on like so many do. It's just to go in and color the skin underneath. And as you can see, I've made them kind of mad. That's what I want to do. Then I take the other end of my applicator and I brush them up and over and back in place. Number one, this will have them lay down, and also with your hair, it'll help them train to go down. So if you've ever had any ones where they're standing up and standing to attention, over time, if you brush your eyebrows every day, they'll be able to behave and be ruly. Okay, again, other one, coloring it back in. Again, you should never be afraid of makeup. You can always take it off, although I think it's easier if you apply it right the first time, then you don't have to take it off. And again, we go brush up and over and back in place. We'll be right back to finish off the look with her luscious lips. Stay tuned.